Hey there, folks. Nate here from Peach Domino Papercrafts. How you doing? This is part 2 of my planning out my planner series. It's weird, yeah, but here's what we're doing. So I'm gonna write out a test page. This is my old book. So I'm gonna write out a test page of how it's gonna look in my new book, because I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to mess up the new book. This one's already pretty messed up. I don't know if you can tell. You can't. There's the pages where yeah, see? So we're going to use the old book to make test pages. Now, remember, for our steps, which I've lost, we have what project are we doing regularly that we can, or what are we doing regularly that is a project? Scroll you in a little bit, okay? And then we just determine the steps for that project. This is what we're on. Okay, so we listed out our regular projects as being meal planning, making fancy journals, and making greeting cards, right? Now, these are the steps for meal planning. You do the inventory, which involves pantry, spices, freezer, and fridge. You list the special events that you've got going on the pay period, and those meals you either don't eat home or you eat something easy. You consult your previous menus so you don't duplicate, and again, meatloaf for some reason just keeps coming up. You don't want that two times in a row. You pick your meals equal to the number of days you're cooking, and you split it out as evenly as possible between chicken, beef, pork, and meatless, and occasionally fish. You list all the needed ingredients for those meals. You cross out the ingredients on hand, and you add household necessities. Now, how are we going to translate this into the planner, right? So here's what we're going to do for a project like this, where you don't need to list out, okay, menu 1, menu 2, menu 3, steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, check, check, check. This is just a list of steps. So this one, we're going to do like this. I think I'm going to use a blue pen, and I'm going to write menu planning. Very simple script, because of course it is, and of course I've already messed it up, but who cares? This is the old journal, right? So we don't care if we messed it up. I don't know, somehow that works. And this is why you should always draw it out with a pencil first, so you don't have all these mistakes that I'm making that look really weird. But whatever. Okay. It helps that this is one of those friction pins, so I can just come back in and erase that theoretically. There it goes. And make it pretty again. And I'm not gonna use the blue pen for that color in. Yes, I'm doing the color ins and everything in the old journal. I'm gonna use, nope, not those. These don't bleed as much as some of my other things. Here's a good blue one that I'm gonna use. This is a Art Alternatives dual tip marker. I don't know, it doesn't say what kind. And you've got this finer point here, and you've got this wider brush point here, which is the part I'm going to use. I'm just going to stoof right over that. And I got these at Pop Shelf. If you happen to have one in your area, they have a little stationary menu bar. Wow. They have a little stationary bar where they've got little different kinds of pens and pencils set up that you can pick which ones you like, and they've got the prices, and they got little test papers there too, so you can do Make sure your pen works and all those good things before you buy it. Okay, so now how are we going to do the planning part? What are we going to do for that? Well, I'm just going to get one of these. I'll get my Tombow here, this green one. And this is water-based. And again, dual tip. It's got this finer point here. And this wider brush stroke one here. And I'm just going to make it look fancy, right? This is all off the top of my head, nothing fancy, nothing fancy. Anyway, and then I want to do a little line underneath, and this is an Art Alternatives black marker. I have a hard time doing those ones backwards. And I have a hard time making hearts, apparently. Okay, and if you want to get fancier, then you can get fancier. It's all up to you. This is your journal, right? Now, I'm going to list out my steps like this. Okay, I'm going to put... Actually, I'm going to use colors to write my numbers. Step 1. Wow, that's bright. Bright orange. I don't know if you can tell. That is neon. Take inventory. Of pantry, spices, fridge, and freezer. Okay, see? Pretty already. What are we gonna do? We're gonna do brown. I hope this is brown. It might be a red. You never know with these off-brand gel medium colors. I don't even know what brand it is. It just says gel medium. Step 2. Looks like a burgundy maybe. Is gonna be list any special events for the pay period. Okay. Step 3 I'm gonna do in the purple. This is a Papermate felt tip pen. That's the word. I hope y'all can see that. Rainbow number 3. Is consult previous menus so you don't duplicate. Yeah, y'all see a lot of my arm. I don't like this pen. I don't want to use that pen. Let's use this pen. This is a Pilot Precise V5 extra fine pen. And I don't keep it with my fine liners because I don't feel it's the same as a fine liner. I guess it could be considered a fine liner. See the way it writes? Could definitely be considered a fine liner. Maybe I'll move those to the fine liners. Number 4 is to pick a number of meals equal to the number of days you are cooking. Picking an equal number of chicken, beef, pork, and meatless. And again, I don't put fish on there because the boy does not like fish. So fish is very rare in our house. Usually on days when the boy's not going to be here. Okay, now we're going to take a green felt tip. And we're going to do step number 5. Yeah, I know my 5 looks funny. Oh well. Number 5 is going to be list all needed ingredients. Okay, we're going to take a blue gel pen. This is a Scribble Stuff neon gel pen. Right, number 6. No, nothing seems to be as neon as that orange we used up top, does it? This one doesn't even write very well. Might be time to get rid of that one. Ah, he came back to haunt me. He got mad at me. Okay. Number 6 is going to be cross out ingredients on hand. I don't want to write that, but I guess I have to. Cross out ingredients you already have. And then I need another one. I did brown. Let's do silver. Let's do a silver one at the bottom. Number 7 is gonna be silver. Very pretty silver. And this is a Jelly Roll Midnight. Oh, sorry, Jelly Roll metallic gel pen. And 7 is add household necessities. Probably misspelled that. But, okay, and this is how we do something simple where we don't have to list out each and every project. Right? Now, the thing though is the making fancy journals and making greeting cards. Those need a more elaborate system because I may be working on 3 or 4 journals at once. May not be working on 6 or 7 types of greeting cards. So not only do I need the steps on hand, I need a space to put project 1, project 2, project 3. So we're going to do this one different. On this page over here, we're going to grab our fine liners. And I'm going to grab a Micron black number 5. Okay. And I'm going to grab a ruler. Whatever ruler you happen to have on hand will work. I'm going to leave myself some space here. Space enough to write project 1, project 2, project 3. I can later on list project number is this, project number this is that. Okay? And we're going to go to the very edge of the page, not just the edge of the dots, and draw us a line. Should have got a number 8 pen, but I didn't. Okay, now we've got that. Before I add lines across, because our project log is going to go this way, and I should probably add a title to it so I know what it is. Fancy journal log. Alright, now we know what it is, and we can go from there. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I'm not finding it. So now we need to list out our steps. Step number 1, and I'm going to zoom you in some more so you can see a little closer how I'm doing this. Step number 1, which I'm going to put right along here, is to choose a theme. And you want to write that kind of small if you can. No, I mean, don't spread it all out, right? Because we've got to have lots of room down here as much as possible to list out project numbers. So I guess you don't need to go all the way to the edge of the page like I did on that first line, but you should go to the edge on this bottom line. I can really get a different marker or pen. This 5 isn't working out for me right now. Let's see if I can find my 8. There's a brush. There's different types. 555. Blue. Single 5. There's a 2. There's my 8. My fancy friend. And if that runs out on me, I believe, yes, I have one in the King Art markers. Which, by the way, I like these King Art ones. I got them at Walmart. Because the Sakura Microns, they only have 4 or 5 colors in the color version. And, I like a lot of color in my journals. You don't have to, but I do. Choose papers. I'm not writing the whole thing that says choose papers for 3 signatures of 20 each because I don't want to. That takes up a lot of room. So I'm just saying choose papers, and I'm sorry I hit the camera and made y'all shake. And we'll draw our next line. That's better. Much better. Okay. And then so signatures. Now my next step is called choose or make cover, but it has so many pieces for making the cover. So So we're going to measure cover size. We're going to cut chipboard. We're going to cover chipboard and sew in signatures. Okay? Now you don't have to do this. You can just fly by the seat of your pants if that's what makes you happy. You can do a simplified version of this if you'd like. You can just skip it all together. It's your journal. I'm just showing you how I'm doing mine. Maybe you can take some inspiration from it, or maybe you can see it and say, that's a little complicated, I'll skip that one, and that's okay. You can see it and say, I know what I'm doing good enough that I don't need that, and that's okay too. I personally have ADHD, and I will absolutely forget to sew in a signature, or that I'm even making a book. I mean, that's just the way I am. Now I know we've got a few more spaces, so I'm going to go ahead and put spaces in. I could have done my things down here and put my projects across the top, but I didn't. I did it this way, and that's alright. It gives me room for notes at the end. What's next? Choose ephemera. Choose interactives. Choose pockets. Choose tags. Choose belly bands. Choose envelopes. Choose journal cards. Choose die cuts. Choose other. Because you never know what other ephemera you might want to add to this. Okay, and then we'll draw lines in on those. See, this is why I like to draw the lines first. I just did not do that this time. That's okay. Choose other. Now I know that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why don't fit the other way? 6 and 7. Which gives me plenty of room over here for notes, and we're going to put ink and age. Other pen, other pen, other pen. Add in ephemera. Add ribbon. Add stickers. Add jewels. Add other. And list. Okay, now we've got all that in. Oh, y'all couldn't see me write those last few bits. Okay, they're huge. So we've got all that in. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here to our longest one. And we're going to put a line right here at the very next set of dots. And yes, I'm extending it because I'm going to make a note space over there. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it around. Lift you up a little. And I'm going to come here and I'm just going to draw my lines for all the rest of these, so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about, where I can put project 1, project 2. That way, when I'm showing you guys, y'all won't know which number is which project. Haha. I don't know. I mean, I could just write in Alice Journal, Flower Journal, those kinds of things. I might do that, but who knows? I might not. I may do it to where I have project numbers, and that way, say I make a Christmas journal and it sells, and I want to make another Christmas journal, I can go back and put project 1 again. And that way I can put notes in. Okay, Christmas journal sold 1 this time, sold 1 this day, got this feedback on it, that kind of thing. That's enough to show y'all. It's more than enough to show y'all. Okay, and then you would just come over here and write project 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. And then as you get through, you just tick boxes across. So you know where you're at. And when you pick it up next time, you know, okay, I've done that, I need to do this. So yeah, I think this is the 2 spreads that are going to go in my journal for menu planning and fancy journal, but also one like this for greeting cards, except it'll be the other way because there's only 4 steps for greeting cards. And then, pardon me, whatever other projects I have, I can add in more project pages as I need. Alright, thanks for sticking with me for nearly 30 minutes. I will be back because our next order of business, since we've done this, since we've done number 1 here, our next order of business is going to be a food intake log. And if we have time, a blood sugar, but the blood sugar and body dimensions might be on a video after that. Alright, I will see y'all next time. Y'all be careful, stay safe. See ya.